Good morning and welcome to your Vinyan class. I just realized that because I'm using my phone to record that we're not going to really have music today.
Oh, great.
What? Oh,
No music.
Is that upsetting?
Yes, it's very upsetting.
Okay, all right.
No.
Oh my God, I don't know. Are you kidding? Are you messing with me?
Yeah, I'm just messing
You guys,
with
it's my friend Lydia. You can maybe see a reflection in the mirror.
No.
For all of YouTube that will eventually be watching when we become famous YouTubers, it'll probably actually just be my sister, but I'm recording some videos because she asked for that, and yeah, I think that'll be fun. So this is your Vinyan practice. So you probably want at least a bolster and a blanket, maybe some blocks, definitely a bolster. So if you don't have a bolster of some kind, I prefer a large one. If you don't have one, you can always use a rolled up yoga mat or blanket or something like that. I'm currently sitting on my bolster. We'll begin with a brief meditation, something I forgot to record last time. So we're going to engage with our breath, with the earth, with the chakras, which you can look at literally or symbolically. They're a great just thinking process, and so I think getting into that, if you want to take it more literally, that might be nice. So beginning, go ahead and close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall, allowing the air to fill up your lungs. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then let it all go through your mouth with a sigh. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale deeply through the nose, really filling up, and then let it all go, just like an Elsa, okay? I've told you guys to I said to my class beforehand, 1 more big inhale, 1 more big release. I sometimes use a metaphor of the river, okay? And especially when we're in Shavasana, kind of floating along that river, feeling that sense, remembering that we're not our bodies or our minds, we're that which is observing our mind's thinking. We're not our thoughts either. And so as thoughts come, we want to let that river just sort of carry them away. Or in other words, we observe the thoughts and let them go, let them flow out around us, whatever. I'll have a song about that, and that's more about when we get into Shavasana at the end. But for now, feel that connection of breath, body. Notice all the points which your body is contacting the earth or whatever you're sitting upon. Sit up nice and tall, allowing your chest and your torso to have the greatest ability to expand, to allow as much air possible in. Depending on how you are feeling, you may or may not need to adjust legs throughout. Always, I'll teach mirrored, as you guys know. I'm going to call name a pose, breath, name a pose. You can go to the pose before I finish cueing, and then cue, and remember to listen to your body. Your body knows what you need. So if it wants you to adjust, if you're feeling any pain or numbness, that is definitely a sign from your body that you need to change it around. I just felt a little off, so I shifted off of my bolster. Still filling up, begin to notice your toes. Imagine that your toes are just filling up with light. I sometimes think of the scene in Beauty and the Beast where he transforms into Prince, whatever his name is. I always forget what his name is. But he turns into the prince. You see the light kind of coming out of his fingertips and things. And so imagine that light is filling up your fingertips. Okay, this is even a little bit of a druid exercise, a light body exercise, but also I just like to think like open up the crown, let the light pour in from the universe, or maybe from your Atman, your higher self. And as you come in touch with the divine being of light that you are, you notice that light working its way up through the feet, top to the feet, bottoms, arches, heels, coming into the ankles, making its way up the calves, the shins, coming into the lower legs, reaching the knees, illuminating, strengthening, maybe warming, maybe it's a cool light. You can feel whatever sensation that you want. Noticing your thighs, quads, and hamstrings. Your entire lower body is getting illuminated. You notice your glutes as they touch the earth or where they touch the earth. You notice the base of your spine where your root chakra resides. Red is its color. Earth is its element. Your connection to nature, your stability, your sense of home, your sense of your basic needs of food and shelter being taken care of are all associated with the root chakra. Its location in the earth is Mount Shasta, California, as far as the earth's root or the earth's chakra locations, which is another thing that I find fascinating. But really, when somebody suggested that idea, it's what got me interested in the chakras in general. So fascinating concept. You're now filling up your lower body, those glutes, those hips, the pelvis, all those organs inside of there that help with evacuation and other things. We note our sacral chakra right at the kind of more or less the top of the pelvis, and that's orange in color, the element of water. Its location is Lake Titicaca, which is in between Peru and Bolivia. I have swum in it. It is cold. It is a very high lake. Your body will get warm from swimming, but your face will not. This is about creativity, a sense of pleasure or joy. Some call this the seat of the soul. So noticing that, we continue the Roji Biv up through the spine, following along, coming into the lower back and the belly, filling up with light, filling up with awareness, sending breath to whatever area your focus is on right now, coming up towards the belly button, and just above it, we have our Manipura, or solar plexus. Its color is yellow, just like the sun, solar system. Our soul is what we would call it in Spanish. Feliz de Cinco de Mayo. And so just like the sun, it is yellow. And just like the sun, its element is fire. This is about your personal power. It's sort of, I consider it to be the balance between ego and self-esteem. So you're a little too open through the Manipura, you might have a little bit of an ego issue. If you're a little too closed off, you might have some issues with self-esteem. It's finding that balance, recognizing that you are just as important as anyone else, but no more important. Or just as important as everyone else, but no more important than anyone else. Letting that fire ignite, knowing that you are fiery. One of my favorite characters in all of literature is named Feanor, which means spirit of fire. You know, and that's a Tolkien reference. The greatest of the elves, the maker of many beautiful things. So keep that fire under control, but don't be afraid to ignite it and be a fiery person from time to time. Noticing the rest of our internal organs in the low belly, including your stomach, kidneys, and so on. Shifting the awareness further up, noticing the rib cage, the intercostal muscles. Maybe you move gently side to side, or even do some full Sufi circles here. Noticing, listening to your body, feeling the stretching of your rib cage, those muscles in between, those intercostal muscles in between. Bringing the awareness into heart center, into the lungs, the element of air, the heart chakra, Anahata, I believe is the name, and it is about love. Not surprisingly, the green, I like to think, because it's about air and because of the green color, I like to think of the plants which provide us oxygen. We exchange the breath that we breathe out, that we let go of, right? Our inhales are nurturing. Our exhales are about release. Our inhales fill us up, they expand, we get longer, taller, etc. Our exhales, we sink a little lower, we release, we relax, we deepen. Even our twists will deepen, and the heart is about air. It is that green color, that vibrant green, and it is about love. And love has many meanings. It's not just romantic love, but it's just the love, maybe familial love, or perhaps most importantly, self-love and compassion, recognizing that all have suffered, that all have pain, not judging others for their pain. Sometimes we act out of our pain. They like to say hurt people, hurt people. Let go of your hurts and feel a deeper love for you. Noticing that even the hurts, that they come of our mistakes, we learn from our mistakes. And often in order to make a mistake, we must show courage to try something that we could fail. Continuing that focus up now into the chest, the clavicle, shoulder, coming out into the shoulders, upper arms, elbows, really filling up with light. Your entire lower half, your entire torso is filled with light, coming into the arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, fingertips. Maybe you move your hands at the wrists, maybe you tuck that thumb in, maybe you move the fingertips around. You can even interlace the fingers and do a little bit of this motion if it feels good, remembering to go kind of in both directions, letting your wrists wake up. We spend a lot of time on our phones and computers these days, so it's nice to give our wrists a little love. We may get back to them again. Bringing that awareness back into center, so come back up the arms into the shoulders, into your throat, blue in color. Element of sound. Oh, I forgot to tell you all the locations. So, Manipura is a plateau in Australia called, I think, Uluru. The heart and the third eye are both right now Shaftesbury, Glastonbury, cutting a line right through Stonehenge. In England, the third eye moves around for some reason. And the throat has 3 locations: Mount Sinai, Mount of Olives in Jerusalem, and the Pyramid of Giza. So 2 of those are in Egypt. And this is about finding your inner truth, your voice, speaking that truth, sometimes knowing when to hold your tongue or listen. I know, I'm working on that last one. Good news is I'm supposed to talk right now. Bringing your awareness into the face, noticing the chin, the cheeks, the ears, maybe giving your jaw a massage, noticing your lips, your teeth, your gums, hard and soft palate, your tongue, feeling free to move those things around, letting them fill up with light, energy, healing energy. Noticing your nose, the cool air as it comes as you breathe in, the warmer air as it comes out of your body after it's been warmed by the heat inside of you. Maybe you massage the temples a little bit, move your eyes up, down, stretching your eyes in every direction. I'll mention drishti a lot today. Remember to take your eyes and move them around as part of that gaze. Finding that space in the center of your head, which we call the third eye, kind of right behind the eyebrows, but back in the center. This is about intuition, wisdom, insight, your own sense of inner knowing. All right, we are able to figure things out sometimes. They say maybe we've just forgotten, but it's all there. Maybe coded in our DNA. It's very complicated to really know, but it is incredible how sometimes things just make sense, and how we can look inward and notice these things. So you're now almost fully illuminated. You're scanning back through the body, noticing, reminding yourself to be kind. If you have something today that your body isn't going to do, that's okay. If you have something that you've always been afraid to try, but you're feeling really good today, it's okay to give it a shot as well, as long as you're being safe. Finally, we're completely filled up with light, as if we filled up a bathtub that's now overflowing into our other layers, bliss body, energetic body. And we shift our awareness out into the world, into the room at large, into the rest of the city, state that we're in, the country, the continent, the hemisphere, the earth, the solar system, the galaxy, and the universe. Maybe even many multiverses, I don't know. You still have a special purpose right here on this planet, in this moment. I'm so glad you decided to join me. Let's inhale. The arms up overhead, lifting up towards the sky, feeling that lengthening through the upper back and the shoulder blades. Exhale to drop the left arm down as the right arm comes over. Gaze goes up towards the sky, lifting the eye gaze maybe towards the fingertips, even as you move your gaze towards the crook of the elbow. Inhale, push back up through center, and exhale, switching sides. Letting your sit bones sink into the earth, so not picking up that opposite side sit bone even as you come across. Maybe gaze goes up towards the crook of the elbow, and then the eyes split off the edge of the fingertips. Feeling that stretching, keeping the chest open, breathing really into that left rib cage. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, staying upright through the torso as if a golden thread is pulling the crown of your head straight up. We're going to exhale and twist to the left. Left arm comes behind you, right arm to the opposite knee or thigh. Your gaze can go over that back shoulder, or it might even turn to come forward for a little bit of a counter stretch. Maybe moving your head gently, breath with movement, meeting and greeting sensations. Maybe you try it forward and then send it back again, letting the eyes move along with the head. Inhale, release, and come right back up through center, getting nice and tall. Trying to stay nice and tall as you exhale over to the other side. Right arm comes down, left arm across the body. Nice and tall, turning the head over the shoulder, letting the eyes go further. Maybe on a breath, you exhale and you switch sides. Inhaling for length and exhaling to come back once more. Inhale, we're going to lift the arms back up, coming back through center, and then exhale, begin to fold forward, allowing yourself to sink in towards the earth, tucking your chin into your chest. Maybe you bow your chin in towards the chest and fold a little deeper, pulling in on the Uddiyana Bandha, the lower abdominals, as you fold deeper forward. Eventually gonna inhale and slowly roll up. Bringing the hands behind you, finding purchase, maybe the fingers point away, maybe they point in towards the body. It's a little harder in towards the body. Squeeze shoulder blades together, lift up chin and chest. Maybe you can even pick up the hips off of the earth on an inhale if that feels okay, if that's part of your practice. It's always okay to point your legs and do more of a reverse plank instead of this reverse seat. Exhale to lower yourself down, sitting back up nice and tall. Okay, let's take the legs out in front of us. Grab your bolster if you've got it. I'm gonna switch it up on you guys a little bit. We're gonna do Paschimottanasana while we're down here. Now some folks like to do it like this. I like to take it out long across my legs. Really depends on how deeply you can fold, all right? You might wanna start up like this and then adjust, all right? But we're going to be lifting up nice and tall. So this is Dandasana staff pose. Hands go straight up. You're nice and tall. And you gotta think about this as folding, like you fold a blanket, not like a grass that bends in the wind. So you're folding, and you can start by just coming forward this far. Let your hands come down, keeping that torso long. Inhale, get taller, and then exhale, pull in on the belly, and maybe you sink a little bit lower. And just keep doing this motion as you're folding forward. You're always welcome to do whatever your body is calling for. A nice waterfall can. Inhale, folding deeper. And then every inhale you get tall, and every exhale you let yourself sink a little lower. You'll eventually find a point where you're supported. So in yin, we want the bones to be supported so the muscles can relax. So you're finding a space where your body feels comfortable and supported. The sensation will grow over time. We're gonna spend a minute or two here. And again, that's just my plan. Listen to your body first and foremost, taking in whatever sensations or things that you need. Continuing to notice the breath. If you haven't already, maybe you set an intention for today's class. It can be physical, it can be mental, spiritual, emotional, it can be all four. It can be none of those. If you just intend to make sure that you expand, lengthen, and nourish with inhales, and that you soften, deepen, and let go with exhales, you will have a very beneficial practice. Maybe it's to feel that sense of the river carrying things away, that flow. River is often also used as a metaphor for time. The river is constantly changing, it's constantly moving, it continues to flow. We can sometimes get caught in the river and just stand as it flows around us and feel as if we are frozen in a moment of time. And that can be a beautiful or a scary thing, depending on why we're feeling that. Sometimes the goal is to let ourselves just flow with the water. Let it carry us along. Just being in that present moment. You can always stay here for longer, but if you feel good with this, you can slowly roll up. Setting your bolster aside, perhaps, and we're going to make our way to tabletop. Knees should be directly under your hips. Hands and wrists directly under your shoulders. Index or middle fingers pointed forward, letting the rest of the fingers spread out. Inhale for cow, lifting your head up and dropping your belly down. Maybe even feeling your tailbone curling up and forward. Exhale for cat, pressing into hands and knees, dropping the head down, arching the spine up towards the sky, like a cat that's been frightened. Flowing here breath by breath, or if one of these postures is especially restorative for you, feel free to stay there. Maybe you put some side to side motion in the hips as you're flowing through cat and cow. That can help to really loosen up some energy. We hold a lot of energy, stress, and emotion in our hips. So it may give evidence that that seat of the soul idea is true. Certainly our hips being an area where we're supposed to flow and have stability. If we get stiff in our hips, we're really holding a lot of stuff in. So to release that stagnant energy. All right, you'll have opportunities to clear it out later. Continuing to flow in and out. Eventually, let's come to neutral. I think we'll skip bird dog today unless you guys all tell me you want it.
Need bird dog.
What?
Need bird dog.
You need it? Okay. All right. Well, then we're going to find some balance here. Exhale to send your left foot back. Okay, pulsing the heel towards the earth, using the balls of the feet and the toes as sort of a fulcrum, feeling that lengthening through the back of the leg. Come back to that real solid balance. Focus on the balance of your left hand and your right knee as you inhale to lift up that left heel, keeping the foot flexed, sending the right hand out. Palm is facing in. On your exhales, if you'd like to, you can bring the knee and elbow together. On your inhales, really focus on pushing that heel back as the foot flexes and the toes point at the earth, sending the toes forward, or the fingertips forward. And then on your exhales, you continue to flow. When you feel complete with this, you can lower the hand and lower the knee, coming back into that tabletop. Maybe there's one more cat and cow that you do just to kind of reset. And then curl your toes under, sitting down into a toes pose. You can either be up tall, that's the easiest. Maybe you take a block or a bolster or a blanket on top of your heels, and that's sort of the midpoint, so there's a little supported, or you can sink all the way down and sit on the heels. We call it broken toes pose. Take your right arm out in front of you, gently pull on the fingertips, feeling the palm opening up, okay? You can feel a little bit of internal, external rotation through the shoulder and the arm. You can flip it over. I like to grab the fingers first and then grab the whole wrist. A little more gentle motion. I then will grab onto my thumb, move it around, and then I'll take my thumb and forefinger and give a little love to my texting muscles of my right hand. All right, once that feels good, maybe shake it out. You can switch sides at any point. If toes pose gets much, release the toes, point them, come down into a hero's pose, all right? And then we can come to the other side. I feel pretty good as far as toes pose goes, so this feels nice. A little bit of rotation, flipping it over, back and forth, taking a hold of the thumb, moving it in various directions, feeling that movement and expansion, okay? And then a little bit of love. Since I'm teaching mirror, this is where I really get my texting muscles, all right? And when you feel good here, come on back to that tabletop posture, and we're going to do bird dog on the other side because one good side deserves another. Exhale, pulse that heel back, using the toes and balls of the feet as a fulcrum. Find that balance where your knee is directly below your hips. Pick up that back heel. Send that left hand out, palm facing in. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to flow. We're in bird dog yesterday. On May the 4th, I was calling this Chewbacca with the ports, okay, because he's kind of like a dog man. The ports are these little birds. I think mostly in episode 8, not my favorite film, but you know, whatever. It still has lightsabers in it, Jedi. Some cool fight scenes. Lower that hand down when you're ready, lower that knee down, maybe one more cow and cat. And then we're gonna come into Balasana child's pose. So I'm gonna bring my big toes to touch and widen out my knees as I sink my belly down in between and allow my forehead to press in the earth, my fingertips to work their way out. My inhale for expansion means that maybe my fingertips inch forward, and then my exhale for softening means that I let myself melt into the earth. Inhale, exhale. Taking a few moments here, child's pose, as we say, is always available to you. So taking rest while you're in this posture. We're going to prepare to thread the needle or go into Parivriti Balasana. So inhale to bring those hands in close to the body. Exhale to send that left arm, just knocked something over, no big deal. Left arm out to the side. Inhale to lift that left arm up, even as you press into the right arm to press yourself up towards the sky, opening up. I like to move my arms in some circles here to sort of warm up that shoulder joint. Maybe you actually begin to juice up the joints in this direction, as my friend Mel would say, or my friend Ed, who has embraced it. Eventually, you're gonna send that left arm underneath the body, palm facing up. Your right arm could come out long on the fingertips across the body. That can get pretty intense. Or some folks like to pick it up and put it onto the back. Explore these sensations and find the one that works best for you. Meeting and greeting sensation with breath. You're probably on your left temple. You might want to use a pillow or a blanket to support the head if this feels like too much. Noticing that expansion of the upper back and shoulders on the left side of the body. Letting time help those connective tissues to expand. You begin to feel pain or numbness, please do adjust or come out of it. Whenever you feel complete on this side, you can let that right hand come back down in front of you. Use it to help press yourself off the earth. Maybe take a counter pose by lifting that left arm back up towards the sky. You can always move the arm around a little bit. Let that shoulder sort of release whatever energy you had from being in that stable spot. Come back into child's pose for a couple of breaths. Inhale those arms underneath the body, right under the shoulders. Exhale, right arm goes out to a half T. Inhale to lift that right arm up as you press into the left, coming up, opening up through the chest, the front part of the shoulder, maybe rotating the arm at the shoulder, really allowing that shoulder joint. It's like, I think the most complex joint in the entire body is the shoulder. It goes in a lot of directions, right? And so giving some love to those joints can be a really nice thing. And then eventually you prepare, and you send that right arm underneath the body, palm facing up. Left arm can come out long, across, or to the back. Whatever feels good, making sure that the sensations feel restorative if you're not feeling pain. And we'll spend some time here. I have a feeling this is going to be mostly a yin class today. I hope you guys are okay with that. If anybody was like here for a workout, kind of give me a wave right now. I'm looking. Okay, he's waving. All right, cool. It's going to be kind of chill today. We'll still do a little bit of fun stuff, don't worry. Feeling the breath blowing in and out. Whenever you're ready, you can let that left arm come down. Use it to help you lift yourself back up off the earth, sending that right arm back up towards the sky in a counter pose. Maybe moving the arm around a little bit. Now we're going to come into crocodile pose, and we're really just going to focus on the breath. So in crocodile, ideally your toes are pointing outwards, but sometimes inwards is fine as long as you're on the sides. You're either folding hands on top of each other or taking hands opposite elbows. Your forehead goes onto those folded hands or those stacked forearms. Whatever feels right for you. It keeps the nose off of the ground. The belly presses into the earth, and what this causes is it makes you breathe deeply with your diaphragm. Ken, would you like a sandbag?
No, thank you.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
still.
Yeah, if you're on your back, sometimes you can place a sandbag just below the rib cage in the belly, and that'll create that same kind of resistance. So that your abs are less involved, and it's just that up and down motion of the diaphragm. The diaphragm contracts and moves itself down out of the way of the lungs in the inhale. And then as we relax the diaphragm, it pushes back up in the lungs, and the air is pushed out of those lungs. Try to focus on the quality of your breath. Your breath should be even, 4 or 5 second inhale and exhale. And it should flow easily from inhale to exhale and vice versa. We're getting away from Ujjayi Pranayama, the victorious breath, and into just a smooth, silent breath. Notice those imperfections in the breath and just try to smooth them away. Here, taking the wrinkles out of your bed as you make it. You could always stay here just focusing on your breath for the rest of the class period. But if you'd like to get a little more activity in, bring those hands in underneath your shoulders. We'll start with a little baby cobra. Inhale and come on up. You're kind of in chaturanga. Exhale, lower down. Curl the toes under. Press yourself up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Feet are hip width apart if possible. Hands still have the index fingers forward, though they're out in front. Sending those hips up and back so that the legs are helping to support the weight. Gaze is back towards the feet. Breath flowing in and out. Inhale to look up between the hands and step or float to the top of your mat. Or maybe you bring your hands back so you're more towards the middle, but come into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Forehead is pointing, the crown of the head is pointing towards the earth. You're gazing between your legs. Maybe you pick up your hands and bring them to opposite elbows for a bit of a ragdoll. There's a micro bend at your knees, and that allows your belly to sink into the top of your thighs. And that really helps your spine to decompress. Maybe you take your elbows from side to side, or shake, or nod your head gently. Just really letting go of any kind of energy, especially on your inhales. Nurturing yourself on your inhales and then letting it go. Exhale to release the hands towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Crown of the head goes straight forward. Your back is flat. You're staring straight down at the earth directly below you. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck the chin into the chest. Leave it tucked. Inhale, slowly roll up. I like to snow angel my arms out to the sides. So I reach up towards the sky and eventually my head rises up. Utthita Tadasana, extended mountain pose. And then exhale, lower that down, hands by your sides. We complete the magic trick, and that's why we call it Tadasana. And the magic is that you're tall through the spine, but your shoulders are sinking low. You're rooted into the earth, but you're using that rooting to rise up so that you are tall and broad and powerful and stable like the mountain. Inhale, swing those arms back up overhead. Exhale to drop left arm down and let right arm come across the body. Left arm can sink down by the side, and that'll give you the most sensation over here. Maybe you grab onto that opposite wrist, and that'll help open up the shoulder and back. Or maybe you take your arm behind you for a little bit of a twisting sensation. Meet and greet, whatever sensation, knowing that one's not better or different. It's just whatever feels right for your body today. Inhale, swing the arms back up nice and high. Exhale, change sides. Right arm comes down, left arm comes over. Gaze towards the crook of the elbow, then flitting off the edge of fingertips. Maybe experimenting with where you put that right arm, trying out the different sensations, seeing what you need the most today on this side of your body. Inhale, back up to center. And we're going to do something kind of fun here. So exhale to step your left foot back, coming into a crescent lunge. Take a moment, you're setting that, your foot is not at an angle. You're keeping your feet squared. Your heel is pressing towards the earth, but not actually touching it. You're coming into this lunge, so you're stacking your knee over your ankle so that the shin bone helps to support the weight. Exhale for warrior two. Pivot that back foot, 90-degree angle, straight line from the instep of your foot bisects the arch of your foot. I'm already noticing my hips making some nice popping noises just from moving in these simple ways. Try to keep your torso nice and tall, that golden thread pulling on the top of your head, so you're straight up and down through the torso, and all of the sinking down, the lowering is with your feet. You might need to, I'm sort of inching my front foot forward here. Inhale, flip the palm up, reverse warrior. You can always take the bend out of the knee if this is getting intense. Otherwise, exhale for extended side angle, Parsvakonasana. Trying to have a straight line from the knife edge of your foot all the way to your hands. So try to lower those hips down, ladies. Sort of press those hips forward so that you have more of a straight line. If you want to, I guess you're facing away from me right now, but if you want to glance, the idea is that you're this straight line here. So you got to sink into the hips. Maybe the knee comes a little forward, maybe you need to widen the legs. Exhale to pinwheel the arms to the earth. Pick up that back heel, drop that back knee down. And we're gonna come into a low lunge or dragon pose, as I like to call it. Floating back and forth, letting the hips feel something. You can come pretty far forward. Make sure you can always lift the toes. Come all the way down into a half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. If you want to, many variations are possible here. And then when you're ready, come back forward. Press off of the back foot and come into a kind of a standing splits or like a supported warrior three. You can always upgrade into warrior three by lifting the hands up, keeping those back toes pointed towards the earth as you're nice and flat. Or if you want to get really crazy with the cheese whiz, send your right arm out to the front corner of the mat. Come into a half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, letting your left foot externally rotate so that the flexed foot toes are pointing towards the prop wall. And exhale, lower those hands down. Send that left foot back. Take the hands underneath the shoulders. Send the right foot back and come into a plank. I guess we should do at least one vinyasa in this vinyasa yin class. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga, shoulders in tight to the body. Point the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, turn the head to the left as the hips come to the right. Inhale, back through center. Pull those shoulders back, let the heart shine. Exhale to switch sides. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, curl the toes under. Press those hips back up towards the sky. Downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet or walk the dog. Okay. Try to remember, you guys had your right foot forward or your left foot forward?
Left.
You had your left foot forward?
I think. Yes. Left.
You did?
Yes.
I think I had my left foot forward. Okay, you guys just didn't mirror me very well. All right. Inhale, lift up the left leg for a second, three-legged dog. Stack it hip over hip, scorpion tail, and then set it back down. Inhale, right leg comes up. Set it back down. Actually, you can step your right leg through, but I've got to step my right leg through because I was doing it the other way for sure. Coming up into that crescent warrior now. So you're sinking into that back leg, you're letting it be straight. So in crescent warrior, your hips are square towards the front of the room. Your arms are up. You even can have a little bit of a back bend. Then you can exhale to pivot that back foot, come into warrior two. You might need to widen out. Knee right over ankle means the shin bone is helping support your weight. Straight up and down through the torso, and then turning your head to look over that left shoulder. Pressing into the knife edge of your back foot. Inhale, flip the palm up, reverse warrior. Right. Left arm comes up, right arm comes down. I guess you guys are, so now you guys do have your left foot forward.
It's Monday, okay?
It's cool. All right, good. At least I'm not crazy. All right. Exhale, left arm comes on the knee. This is going to be a great video, you guys. So good. Actually, it is. It's for people who like humor. Eventually, you can do, so you're in this extended side angle. I didn't really offer, but you can always lower the hand down or take the arms in for a bind. Maybe even do a bird of paradise if that's in your practice. Boop. All right. Pinwheel the arms to the earth. Pick up the back heel. Let the knee come down. Moving back and forth. Okay. Maybe you come all the way down into that half splits or the Hanumanasana. Maybe you try the twist move here, various other things. And then eventually you're gonna work your way back up. You're gonna launch off of that back foot, coming into that standing splits or supported warrior three, and lift up the hands to power up into a full-on warrior three, keeping that back foot flexed, toes pointing towards the earth, or rotate those toes out as you drop the left hand out to the corner of the mat, right arm comes up, half moon, one of my faves. Trusting your left hand to help support your weight, share the weight, and then whenever you're ready, exhale, lower down. We're gonna come into a squatted frog if that feels fun. Just moving a little bit from side to side here, feeling that different sensation through your body. Crows or headstands are always welcome here. Something tells me you're gonna skip it. So, let's lower down. Let's do one of my absolute favorite other favorite poses. We'll start without, we're coming into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. We'll start without your bolster, but have it handy, because we're gonna move into what I like to call infinity pose from here. Just take your thumbs and maybe press them into the arches of the feet, the balls of the feet. Give yourself a little foot massage. We do walk all over our feet pretty much every day. And when you're ready, making sure that you're forward enough on the mat so that you can lean back and have space behind you. So Ken, you want to definitely move yourself forward. Take that bolster underneath those legs. Make sure it's nice and evened out. And you're going to allow the legs to be supported by that bolster as you release yourself into a supine Supta Baddha Konasana, so supine not meaning on your back, bound angle pose. I like to take my arms up over my head, kind of interlace my fingers and let my elbows fall out to the side. See if your knees flared out and your elbows flared out. And you're kind of making a figure eight or infinity symbol with your limbs here.
Or frog.
I like to imagine, what?
Frog.
Oh. Well, yeah, you're kind of like a frog here for sure, but that doesn't really fit with me calling it infinity pose, Ken. So imagine the air coming in through your left nostril, going up across through the forehead and towards your right hand. It hits the right hand, it goes down past the right wrist in the forearm towards the elbow, takes the curve there, goes back towards your shoulder, cuts across your torso towards the left hip, down the knee, down towards the left knee, then the left ankle foot across to the opposite, the right foot, up the ankle, shin, knee, thigh. At the hip, it makes the diagonal towards your left shoulder, up the arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, and it reaches that hand, and it's made a complete figure eight. Now you can just continue to follow that line if you want that figure eight. Or you can switch that awareness, inhale, noticing it coming in through the right nostril. Up, right past through the third eye, towards the left hand, down the wrist, forearm, elbow, making the turn, coming in down the upper arm towards the shoulder, going across the torso towards the right hip, down the right thigh, knee, turning calf, ankle, foot, crossing over, and so on. Possibly you can even imagine the breath coming in both directions and making those infinity or figure eight symbols in both directions at the same time. The air, of course, is being spread throughout your entire body, so feel nourished by the air that you breathe in. And then as that air makes its way through the body, allow it to be released as you breathe out. Notice the coolness of the air as you breathe in, the warmth of the air as you breathe out. Just take a few moments here to relax. Continuing to let your legs and arms and elbows soften towards the earth. You could always remain here for the rest of class, and this is a lovely Shavasana pose. I am gonna offer supine spinal twist, which is kind of my favorite thing in yoga. So if you're ready, get that bolster out from underneath you for a moment. Hug your knees into your chest. Feel love for the person that you're hugging right now. Recognize that they are the only person who will be with you every moment of every day for the rest of your life. And know that therefore your relationship with them is important. And know that while you know all their flaws, you should know all of their successes as well. And the love that people have for you and that you should have for yourself should outweigh any minor mistakes that you may have made. In fact, you were brave to make those mistakes. When you're ready, exhale and allow your arms to come out to a T and let your knees fall over to your left side. Twisting in that direction, you can intensify the stretch by turning your head away from the knees to the right side in the opposite direction. You can also take the top leg long, or take the bottom ankle over top of the top knee to intensify or just change the sensations. Meeting and greeting these sensations with breath. And we'll spend a minute or two here, allowing our body to sink into the earth. Yesterday in my Star Wars class, I called this "Let's Try Spinning." That's a good trick. That's a quote from episode 1. Not the most beloved movie, although the prequels are more liked after the sequels, I guess. Anyway, today's May the 5th, so es probablemente en español es mejor. Allow yourself to sink into the earth. Feel that breath filling you up, and then let it go. Begin observing those thoughts from a quiet place and letting them go. Working towards peace. The hard part is over. But the true work begins here. Physically difficult, some of our warrior postures. But the mental work is the true yoga. Learning to calm the mind and be present. Whenever you're ready, breath with movement, start by getting your head back to neutral, then pick those knees back up and hug them into your chest. Really meaning this hug. Thinking of how someone who really missed you or someone you really miss, how you really just want to give them a great big hug and squeeze them all your might. Try to have that same feeling towards you. Exhale, arms out to a T, let the knees fall over to the right side. Turn your head away if that feels okay. Continuing to move with breath. Allow yourself to sink in the earth. Always feeling free to change how you do the legs, to find the sensation that's going to be most beneficial to you today, greatest and highest good. When we turn our head in the opposite direction, it's like we're wringing out a damp cloth, and these twists are very good for helping to squeeze and move things around, kind of shake loose the cobwebs or get the various toxins away from our body. Now that we've loosened them up, what we want to do is we want to flush out our system. So please remember after class that you're gonna
Drink lots of
Drink
water.
tequila.
drink water, or since it's Cinco de Mayo, maybe tequila or cervezas. But, you know, I did have an old teacher who used to say you gotta detox before you retox, but this is an opportunity to at least cleanse the body, and it's up to you whether you want to keep it clean or not. Everything in moderation and with wisdom, you guys. Whenever you feel complete on this side. With an inhale, you can bring that head back up to center. Pick up the knees, hug them into your chest, and let's take a happy baby. Hands to insides or outsides of feet, gently rocking from side to side, almost like you're getting a little lower back massage, even while the hips are opening up. If you have any other postures you'd like to feel complete, maybe a plow or a deaf man's pose, maybe a Viparita Karani, also known as waterfall, or a candlestick, aka shoulder stand. Perhaps you needed a bridge, you didn't get one, and so you want that. Always get into that posture. Listening to your body. But whenever you're ready, you can make your way to Shavasana. Taking your feet out to the edges of your mat, palms facing up with your arms by your sides. Maybe you take your blanket, place it over your body. Maybe you bring that bolster in underneath your knees to give your legs some support. Possibly you take a block or another blanket meditation cushion under your feet if you like to have a little extra there. Close your eyes, and once again, feel yourself floating on that river. Allow the water to go right through the brain and help take those thoughts away, those intrusive thoughts. Once again, observe your thoughts and then let them go. Apologize for the little bit of noise. I have a little song and then a couple more minutes of silence. That old man river, he must know something, but it don't say nothing. That old man river, he just keeps rolling along. He don't plant potatoes, he don't plant cotton, and them that plants them are soon forgotten. But old man river, he just keeps rolling along. You and me, we sweat and strain, body all aching and racked with pain. Tote that barge, lift that possibly inviting subtle movements such as the wiggling of fingers and toes. Maybe your head gently rocks from side to side. Perhaps you move your feet at the ankles, your hands at the wrist. Your arms up overhead or behind your head, point your toes, get nice and tall and long, get a nice good morning stretch in. My favorite teachers used to say, no matter what life throws at you, yoga teaches you to breathe through it. I think that metaphor of allowing to go with the flow, letting the river, not pushing against or straining against it, nor getting carried away, but just being in that present moment is an important skill for us to all work on. You can roll over to your favorite side after giving yourself maybe one more big hug. Maybe you take that upper arm and use it to press yourself up off of the earth, coming into a comfortable seat on your mat. If you're joining me in this comfortable seat, inhale the arms up overhead, press the palms together, Anjali Mudra, a gesture of gratitude. Let those hands come out in front of the heart center. Feeling gratitude with our hearts, expressing gratitude with our voices. Feeling gratitude not just for others and the wonderful things that they do, but for ourselves. For all the little things we do every day and all the big things that we've done, all the courage we've shown, even and especially when it's resulted in something that we did not hope or expect. The divine light that resides in me sees, honors, and humbly bows to the divine light in each and every one of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, namaste.
Shukriya means thank you. Shukriya.
Thank you.
Shukriya. If you all got what you were hoping for out of today, if you got anything extra, please share it with someone who needs it. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.